Hi friends, today we're going to talk about our dividing integers and rational numbers quiz. We're going to start with number 1. Number 1 is a fraction, negative 12 over 5. Remember we talked about how fractions and division are the same. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the bottom number of my fraction on the outside of my division box. I'm going to put my 12 in. We'll worry about the negative later. 5 goes into 12 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10. I'm going to subtract. 12 minus 10 is 2. 5 can't go into 2, so I'm going to bring down a 0. And I'm going to add a decimal here. 5 goes into 24 times. Nothing left over. Remember that a negative divided by a positive is a negative, so my answer to number 1 should be negative 2.4. Moving down to number 2, I have negative 3.45 divided by negative 15. I'm going to put my negative 15 on the outside of my division box and my 3.45 on the inside. I'm going to put the decimal directly above my decimal under the division box. 15 can't go into 3, but 15 can go into 34 2 times. 2 times 15 is 30. Subtract 34 minus 30 is 4. 15 can't go into 4. I'm going to bring down my 5. 15 goes into 45 3 times. 3 times 15 is 45. I get a 0. Now here, when I divide two negatives, my answer is going to be a positive. So my answer is positive 0.23 for number 2. Number 3, this time we're moving into fractions. I need to make both of these mixed numbers into improper fractions before I can divide. I'm going to multiply 6 times 1, and then I'm going to add it to my numerator. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 plus 5 is 11, so that gives me negative 11 over 6. My denominator stays the same. Divided by, I'm going to do the same thing over here. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 1 is 25. My denominator stays the same. Now I'm going to use my keep, change, flip rule. Negative 11 over 6 stays the same. My division changes to multiplication. My last fraction, it flips to become 6 over 25. 11 times 6 is 66. And 6 times 25 is 150. Now I want to make sure that this is in simplest form. So my greatest common factor between 66 and 150 is 6. So 66 divided by 6 is 11. And we can do 150 divided by 6 over here. 6 goes into 15 2 times. That's 12 minus, it gives me a 3. Bring down my 0, add a decimal. 6 goes into 30 5 times. Oops. Mr. Wood made a mistake, sorry. We don't need a decimal there, it should just be the 5. And then remember, when I divide a negative and a positive, I get a negative. So my answer to number 3 should be negative 11 over 25. Looking at number 4, it says describe and correct the error. So whenever I do one of these, I want to solve what I have first. So I'm going to do negative 1 over 4 divided by 3 over 2. I'm going to solve it the way I know how to solve it, and then I'll look back for the error. The negative 1/4 is going to stay the same because we're using our keep, change, flip rule. The division is going to turn to multiplication, and my last fraction is going to flip to become 2 over 3. 1 times 2 is 2. 4 times 3 is 12. My greatest common factor between 12 and 2 is 2. When I divide that out, I get 1 over 6. And again, I'm dividing a negative and a positive, so my answer is going to be negative 1/6. Here, I see that instead of using the KCF, the keep, change, flip, they forgot to flip this 3 halves. They needed to flip it to make it become 2 over 3. That was their error. Looking at number 5, number 5 is just simple math facts. 72 divided by 9. That gives me positive 8 because when I divide two negatives, they become a positive. Number 6, I spent $100 on a new bike. I paid $20 per week. How many weeks did it take to pay it off? All right, so again, this is a division problem. $20 per week into a $100 bike. 20 goes into 100 and even 5 times. 5 times 20 is exactly 100. So it took 5 weeks to pay off that bike. And last but not least, number 7, it says write two fractions equivalent to the quantity of -7/8. Well, I know that this negative transfers in two ways. I could either have -7/8, or you could have done 7/-8. You also could have done a -7/-8, because when you divide these two negatives, they would become positive, and then you would have been left with 7/8 negative. But these are the two main answers for number 7. Good job, friends.